I trust that Shay Diaz has fans about as much as I would trust a condom from the dollar store. What's up? It's Nikki. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be reviewing episode 9 of And Just Like That, the HBO Max Sex and the City spinoff series. Okay, now, do I want Shay Diaz on my TV screen? No. But last episode ended with Miranda running to the airport to surprise Shay in Cleveland. So why is this episode opening with Miranda at a restaurant with Carrie and Charlotte? Child, these writers literally have no clue how to tell a story or how to maintain a cohesive thought. Instead, they just jump around from here to there and nothing is cohesive. Nothing flows. We are just getting random scenes of nothing. Why do I care about Miranda and Carrie switching plates? What was that? Child, Seinfeld was a show about nothing. But it was well crafted and it was fun. And Just Like That is the show about nothing, but it's not fun. So Charlotte is excited for Carrie's date with the teacher because you know they doing their redo of their first date. But Carrie keeps saying it's not a date. Take all the romance out of it. But Carrie decides to make her date, get ready, leave his house, go all the way to the restaurant just to cancel on him. Because she not ready to date even though this a non-date. Huh? This was so odd. I swear it's like one person writes one scene and somebody else writes a different scene and they don't know what scene the other person wrote and then they just put it all together. Carrie kept saying that this not a date. So if it's not a date, then why couldn't she just hang out with the teacher and have dinner and drinks and whatever you do on a non-date? She cancels a non-date because she couldn't take her ring off to go on the date. Am I crazy? Charlotte cannot. So Miranda enlists Carrie and Charlotte to come help paint a women's center, women's shelter. Her and Naya are starting because, yeah, when did that happen? Did I miss that or did I forget about that? When did they do this? And y'all, I love how they never ask their friends to do things. Instead, they just demand that their friends do things. Okay. Were they like that on the original series? So, Carrie does not want to pay, because who does? She just want to write a check. But Miranda says, you can't be the white woman who just writes a check. My nigga, y'all got money. If y'all don't just hire some mother freaking painters, Carrie got millions. Carrie done got rich doing absolutely nothing. She living in a dang shoebox. Let her spend some money and get some dang painters. I am so confused as to how Carrie is so wealthy that she could buy an apartment she don't even like for millions of dollars. But she can't use her wealth to write a check for the women's center so y'all can get some painters in there? Okay, child. Look, I ain't painting. I ain't doing any physical labor. My friends know I'm not the person you call for that. I'm not helping you move, child, but I will gladly help you pay for some movers. So, since when can't you write a check? What am I missing? People need checks. Why is Miranda shunning checks? Who's still writing checks anyway? Is that, I hope we just talking about money and not are we talking about a literal check? I don't know. I do not think women in the shelter gonna care whether you and your friends painted the walls yourself or hired some painters. Oh no, I can't come to this women's shelter because white women wrote checks. Said no one ever. On Sex and the City, I thought this was a fun group, right? Child, I don't want nothing to do with this group. Nothing. This ain't the friend group for me. I am not spending my day at your child piano recital. I'm going with my man to the Hamptons. I am not stopping my life to stay at your house and carry you to the bathroom after you have surgery. Sorry, homegirl, I'm not. Because you're rich. Hire a nurse. Sorry, girl, I got a life and you got money. I am not spending my day painting walls, child. You better take my little cash app and let me be. My life does not revolve around my friends. My life does not revolve around what my friends is demanding of me. Friends ain't supposed to be demanding you do things. Y'all, I can't with them. Like, do this get on anybody else's nerves? Like, they literally just demand each other do stuff. And how do you take it upon yourself, Miranda, to mandate somebody else's kindness or giving or charity? Because is it kindness if a nigga don't want to do it? Carrie don't want to paint the walls. So is it charity or kindness if you forcing her to paint the walls? It's just crazy to me how they expect the other girls to drop their lives whenever they tell them to. Yo, did Charlotte say they mitzvah? What am I missing? Is bar mitzvah gendered? I thought a bar mitzvah is when Jewish kids turn 12 or 13 or some age and they have like a party or a ceremony or something. What am I missing? Am I tripping? Because I know what a bar mitzvah is. Why did Charlotte say a day mitzvah? It's a ceremony Jewish people have for their kids. What am I missing? Why did Charlotte call it a day mitzvah? Am I being ignorant? And I ain't gonna tell y'all, I actually wanted a bar mitzvah when I was a kid. I wanted a black mitzvah. If Charlotte get to say a day mitzvah, I get to say a black mitzvah. I'm throwing a black mitzvah for somebody's child. Nah. Charlotte is on the phone with Anthony, and suddenly we hear Jamie Lee Curtis scream because Michael Myers done popped back up. No, it was Lily. Yo, why did the scream sound like bad acting though? Was it just me? Y'all, the scream sounded so terrible. Why is the acting on this show so freaking bad? It's like worse than a sci-fi movie. Why was everybody yelling? Okay, yeah, I'm always yelling, so I guess I can't say nothing about that. But in the whole episode, everybody was yelling, and it ain't sound right. But anyway, Lily started her period, but not for the first time, but for some reason, it was dramatic. Because according to her, the period apps trackers say that her period gonna come on the 21st, and Lizzie got a pool party on the 21st, or whatever the little girl name was. Child, somebody give me an Asian baby. Please, somebody give me an Asian baby so I can raise her and show Charlotte how this ish is supposed to be done. Because, first of all, child, why is you screaming in my house and tearing up my nerves? Yo, y'all, is this stereotype of how white people let their kids curse them out and yell at them and disrespect them and let their kids run a whole dang household? Is that real? Like, is that true? Look, child, disclaimer, don't hit your kids. But my fictitious teenage Asian child, I'm running upside her head. Look, Lily need a black mama. Bring me the child. Bring me Lily. Lily and Rose need a black mama. Not a black mama. A black mama. They need the cook because them kids is out of motherfucking control. Okay? And I feel like I don't even believe this whole storyline because Jewish people don't let their kids run wild like this. Jewish people do not let their kids talk to them like this. Not the ones I know. Jewish people do not let their kids run around being disrespectful. So I find it hard to believe that Harry would raise his kids like this. Charlotte kids are so freaking over the top disrespectful. Lily yells shit. Rawr. And what was that anyway? My entire teenage years, I ain't never said But you know what? I also feel like, how realistic is it that Charlotte would have kids like this? Because Charlotte was always very prim and proper and all about what's appropriate and carrying herself a certain way. Is it appropriate for your 15-year-old to be cursing at you and yelling at you and demanding ish of you? And while I feel like Lily done changed, wasn't she all quiet and meek and nice and playing the piano like a prodigy? And now she cursing and screaming at Charlotte? Am I tripping? Okay, so I believe that mermaids are real. I believe that Bigfoot is real. I believe there is an entire city under the ocean. I do not believe that Shay Diaz has fans. I don't. Writers, just stop. I trust that Shay Diaz has fans about as much as I would trust a condom from the dollar store. So, two fans come up to Shay at a restaurant she at with Miranda in a scene that included some horrid dialogue. Y'all, I cannot. They asked Miranda if she famous and she like, no, I'm the girlfriend. I'm sorry. And y'all, Shay looked at her like, bitch, say what? So Miranda takes a picture of the fans and Shay. Now y'all, I'm not one to trash how women look. It's just not my style. But y'all, I gotta say something. Because this ish has been killing me. What is with Miranda's smile? Why does she smile like this? Like, I know I probably look crazy. Throughout the entire series, she was literally taking a picture of Shay and the fans like this. I'm the girlfriend. Like, I was like, what the I'm sorry. I cannot. She looked crazy. Okay, let me stop. Okay, I'm gonna edit this out. I'm being mean. But also, Miranda never smiled this much on Sex and the City. On 6 seasons of Sex and the City, she never smiled this much. But all of a sudden, now she all giddy and smiling. When they outside the women's shelter, Miranda is literally like this when old girl say brown people can write checks. Okay! I was like, okay, yeah, I'm cracking myself up. Okay, I'm gonna cut this out. I'm being mean. Okay, let me make a little pause so I can cut this. Okay. So after taking a picture, the fans are like, you slept with our friend here. You slept with our friend there. You slept with our friend on the beach. You slept with our friend with a peach. You slept with our friend on a plane. You slept with our friend in the rain. Like, what the? My nigga, who talk like that? Who talk like that? Who does that? If I see someone that I know personally in public and I know other people they done slept with, I do not be sitting there talking about some, you slept with Benny and Bonnie and Johnny and Susie and what the, who does that? Who does that? And why would you talk about who I done slept with when a person I'm sitting here with just told you that was my girlfriend? See, now you causing a mess. Who do that? This ain't make no sense. This ain't make no sense. Child, Shay just be laying it low and spreading it wide. Y'all, what exactly does Shay Diaz do besides get high, take shots, screw around, and be a comedian that's not funny? What makes Shay Diaz cool exactly? Riddle me that, Batman. Like, what traits does the character have that actually makes them cool? I'll wait. Anybody? Because I am still really confused on what actually makes Shay Diaz cool. Like, y'all, I can't. So, Carrie and Seema go to a club because Seema want to dance. Child, you can dance anywhere. I am not standing in no long behind line that's wrapped down the dang block so you could dance. But y'all, what was the point of this scene? And I feel like I say that in every video, but for real, what's the point? What's the point of anything they got Carrie doing? Nothing is happening. Literally. Nothing is happening with Carrie. Carrie don't do ish. So then Carrie and Seema go somewhere, some restaurant, whatever the hell, child. And Seema is like, it's her birthday. The hell? You ain't got nobody to be with on your birthday except your client that you only just met. This reminded me, excuse me, this reminded me of an episode of Seinfeld when Jerry is on a date with someone and the waiter asks if they want dessert and the lady is like, well, I guess I should have a slice of cake since it's my birthday. Like, what? Y'all, okay, so I know I reference Seinfeld a lot. Like, I mentioned Seinfeld in a ton of my videos, but I actually know that probably get on people's nerves, so I don't really reference it. Like, I don't say Seinfeld in every video, but I actually say lines from the show in almost every single solitary video that I post. But I'm sure people probably don't even get the references. But literally, you can relate everything to Seinfeld. Every time I watch a movie or a TV show or I'm in a real life situation, there is something that reminds me of an episode of Seinfeld. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Now, Charlotte is cooking and turns around to see Lily standing there like a dang horror movie. But y'all, what did Charlotte have on the stove? Why did that ish look like slop? Did y'all see that? It looked like the slop they was eating in the first Matrix movie. So Lily decides that she is ready to learn how to use a tampon, and it has to be right now at this exact moment before she changed her mind. Because why would she care that her mama is in the middle of cooking dinner and that she is expecting guests literally any moment? Child, I'd have been like, little nigga, you don't see me cooking? We not doing stuff on your time. We doing ish on my time. Because see, Charlotte already tried to show her this, but she didn't want to do it. But now she want her mama to drop everything. Y'all, I can't. Lily is just so entitled and demanding, and child, I can't even live. You know what's a word I have literally never used before in my entire life, but it is so fitting? Lily is insufferable. I have never used that word before in my life, but it describes Lily. Child, I just be wanting to, Lily, child, I can't. But you know what? I just be being funny, y'all. Like, I be dead serious, but I be being funny at the same time. Because I don't even believe in corporal punishment. I really don't. I didn't get whoopings or anything like that, spankings, whatever, when I was a kid. But I feel like my mama was always able to just kind of give me this look or say stuff in a certain tone while I just straighten my ass up real quick. Charlotte needs to learn that. Her kids run mother freaking wild. I feel like Charlotte kids be talking to her crazy. She just be, okay, Lily. Like, girl, okay, I need Charlotte to turn up on her kids. She gotta learn how to do that look and that tone to straighten your kids up. Oh, and when Charlotte tells Harry to take the challah out the oven in 10 minutes, it reminded me of when Charlotte made her first Jewish dinner and Carrie was helping her and was like, you don't have to holler. I don't know, I always thought that was funny. Back when Carrie was fun, child. But y'all, why did Anthony Date say, oh, is this a Jewish dinner? And after Harry, a Jewish person, says yes, the guy is like, you know, the Holocaust wasn't real. What? Like, even if you are some crazy person who thinks that Jewish people, like, murdered ancestors aren't real, like, what? I'm not clear how this whole Holocaust ain't real thing work, but if you is that person, if that's what you believe, child, who would say that in a Jewish person's home? That did not make a lick of bit of sense. It's like this show just wants to say these things for reaction. Like, I'm not clear on what the motive is exactly. Like, this show claims to be so progressive, but they say things like Russian women in expensive real estate are hookers. What? And I'm baffled as to why people are in an uproar over that. This show claims to be so progressive, but they include an unnecessary line about the Holocaust didn't happen or it's a hoax, whatever they said. Like, I'm not Russian or Jewish, but the issues don't feel right. Like, nobody on that set thought to themselves, this ish don't feel right. Like, hold on, my G. Maybe we shouldn't say these things. I feel like it is very clear to me that the showrunners do not actually believe this progressive woke agenda they are pretending to have. I mean, what exactly is progressive about having an educated, quick-witted, non-traditionally feminine woman now be a heartless wench, bumbling and stumbling, erratic fool in her extramarital affair, screaming at her hearing impaired husband? What exactly is progressive about the non-binary character being a gimmick, a one-dimensional, I'm fun all the time, all I do is smoke so much weed I can't even remember what I forgot, coming out to my family was easy breezy, all I do is screw around, and whoever I'm in a relationship with must follow my no rules rule? What exactly is progressive about having Carrie's entire life still revolve around big? What exactly is progressive about adding black folk to the series who serve no other purpose than just being black folk in the series? And having characters say things like, white women can't write checks, but brown women can. And I could go on and on and on and on and on. What the hell is progressive about this show exactly? Like, what about this show is actually progressive? I'm so serious. I can't anybody tell me. I really believe this show is like a Trojan horse, right? They don't actually believe in any progressive or inclusive ideologies. They want to present these things in the absolute worst possible way so that the audience can hate these things and be like, I don't ever want to see a non-binary character again. Don't ruin my favorite shows with inclusiveness. I hate the woke agenda. This show is actually setting us back, not forward. I also feel like this show just isn't fun anymore because it's trying to be something that it just ain't. It's trying to be something that it can't. The original Sex and the City series did not take itself so seriously. And as much as I love Sex and the City, it was flawed like a mug. There was homophobia, there was transphobia, it wasn't inclusive, but the world they were giving us a peek into was fun. And you can't underestimate the impact of giving the audience a fun product. Nothing about this series, the And Just Like That series, nothing about it is fun or enjoyable. Nothing about it is like a fresh take on women in their 50s, the way that Sex and the City was at least like a fun, fresh take on single women. And everything that the audience has to swallow ends up being much worse because it's not even fun. So Charlotte ends up teaching Lily how to use a tampon and giving her instructions. And of course, Lily has an attitude and it's annoying because what else can she do? I actually thought this was funny for like 30 seconds. But it was about 100 minutes too long. Charlotte saying just jamming in there, Lily just do it and coaching her from the tub. I thought it was funny. Like, I didn't laugh, but it was humorous. Like, it was fun to watch. Now, I personally am not one of those people who get disgusted just because people say the word period or the word tampon. And I'm a very easily disgusted person. But I mean, it's natural. Every woman has one. I don't know. It's not a big deal to me. But this could have been like just a 1 minute long thing. We ain't needed to go on and on and on for the entirety of the episode and get way more graphic and in detail. They went a little too far. Because when they go to paint the shelter and Rose tells Charlotte she being too neat and OCD with how she paints. Child, if Rose don't shut the fuck up. If Charlotte kids don't just learn to shut the hell up. But Lily come over and say her tampon string is gone. She literally hit Charlotte on, like, grab her fucking arm. Like, look, girl, if you don't take your hands off me, y'all, this is all so freaking insane. Who kids do Lily and Rose mirror? Because don't nobody around me kids act like this. I ain't never seen no kids act like this. So, Charlotte go to get Lily some water, which, why do you need water while you in the porta potty trying to take your tampon out? I don't know. But anyway, Lily is like, room temp water, not cold. Look, nigga, you gonna get whatever water I give you. I'm not taking water orders. Okay. I'm getting sidetracked because Lily get on my nerve, and I be feeling like I really got an annoying ass teenage Asian child. I just can't with Lily. But the tampon ish could have been just like 1 minute. Like, that would have been fine. Child, they stretched it out way too motherfucking long. And Charlotte period accident mess was completely unnecessary. The lost tampon string, that goes into disgusting territory. Like, just talking about the tampon and stuff, like, that's fine. But when they went, like, all into all this, that's when it went too far. Just speaking about a period and tampons, okay, that's not disgusting. But going into detail like they did with the lost string and all that stuff, yada, 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 that was way too much, y'all. Miranda asked Charlotte what's wrong because she saw her running in and out of the bathroom wired. Does she have a coat problem now? And y'all, I actually thought that was funny. And I thought it was funny, and I thought it was reminiscent of the vibe of Sex and the City and the way that they used to say like little funny quips making fun of specifically Charlotte. So I like that. Now, Charlotte thinks she's in menopause and doesn't have a period anymore, but she ends up having a flash period. I ain't never heard of that, but I guess it's a thing. And she ended up with a period stain on her all-white pants. Now, first of all, who go painting in all white? Also, that stain was huge. There ain't no way Charlotte ain't, like, I'm not buying this. There ain't no way she ain't feel that. But see, they went, this is what I'm saying, like, they went too far. We ain't need this. Like, it could have stayed a little 1 minute segment talking to Lily. It ain't have to go this far. But this ain't make no sense. Instead of walking over to Charlotte, Carrie and Miranda called her over to them so she could walk past people and have more people see the stain and be embarrassed. Like I said, the period humor, while not funny and stretched out way too long, it ain't bother me. Like, the first little 1 minute, I thought it was a little humorous and cute, but it was way too long. So, Miranda surprises Shay and just pops up at their apartment. Now, I thought this was crazy because apparently it wasn't okay to pop up on her at her apartment, but it was okay when Miranda popped up on her in Cleveland? Or was it not an issue? Because the episode literally don't even mention Cleveland at all, so I don't even know. This scene was so odd to me because when Shay opens the door, first of all, Shay can't remember if they had plans together or not. Okay, so last episode, all of a sudden, out the blue, if I done ever seen out the motherfucking blue, Shay went from giving a minor child weed and rudely forcing someone in the elevator to breathe in her secondhand smoke to being on a morally superior high ground. And now, on this episode, Shay so high, she can't even remember what she forget. She can't remember if they got plans or not. What we doing, child? The way Miranda was acting and talking, it felt like a 22-year-old or something. Like, it felt juvenile. She seemed really oblivious and out of touch and just erratic and I don't know no other word besides juvenile. Like, it came off like really young. First of all, it's rude and considered to just pop up on somebody in general. Like, that's a pet peeve of mine. I don't care if you my cousin. I don't care who you are, child. You have no idea what I'm doing, what mood I'm in, if I'm sleeping, if I got a headache, if I'm not feeling well, whatever. You don't just pop up at people's house. Oh, and can I be nitpicky and point out the fact that Miranda bought cookies for Shay, but couldn't buy Steve a dang brownie? How do the showrunners not notice ish like that? Why did it not dawn on Miranda how long she was standing in the mother freaking doorway, just yapping? I was craving some Shay. Okay. Whatever, y'all. Girl, you have not been invited in. That's not odd to you. If you go to somebody's house, usually they open the door, they can let you in, and y'all be walking and talking. You don't stand in the doorway holding a conversation. Now, I thought Shay was hooking up with somebody and wasn't alone, but actually, they were writing because, you know, being that unfunny takes a lot of work. So, Shay tells Miranda, I wish you would have called or text, you know, like, considerate. anybody with common sense would do. But y'all, this when I start laughing. I swear this show is a motherfucking parody. I was laughing. Cynthia Nixon gave us her amazing gold standard overacting and was like, I'm never gonna do this again. Let's pretend like this never happened. But y'all, is it just me or does this ish feel so young? Like it feel like some dumb young people. This does not feel like how a 50-something-year-old woman would be acting. It just feels so juvenile. Nah, Miranda was like, if you were a guy I just started seeing, I would have never showed up at your door. Huh? What? So y'all, help me figure this ish out. So, if you date a man, do not show up to their house unannounced. But if you date someone that's non-binary, we assume they like for you to show up unannounced. I don't understand what she was. I don't get it. What was she saying, y'all? What am I missing? Dating is dating, right? Common sense is common sense, ain't it? Why would it make a difference what gender or non-gender somebody is? I feel like, what am I not getting? I was so confused. But y'all, Miranda started spiraling. Miranda started spiraling like water down the drain. So Shay starts her sentence, this isn't gonna work. And child, Miranda is like, what do you mean this isn't gonna work? This has to work or I'll die. Okay, girl. None of these women are written like mature women. And I don't mean mature as in older or mature as in age. I mean mature as in fully developed mentally, as in fully emotionally mature. It is just so ridiculous. So Shay tells Miranda, let them finish the motherfucking thought, child. And Shay is like, this isn't gonna work if you look at us in relationship trope boxes. Or boyfriends do this and girlfriends do that. I'm not a guy, you not my girlfriend, and we not dating, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Y'all ever saw the movie Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood? Well, they making like fun of hood movies. It's like a parody of hood movies. Now, I'm going to tell you what it's really like growing up in the hood. And throughout the movie, during those message moments, they literally pop up on the screen like message. That's how I feel watching And Just Like That. They should have had Keenan Ivory Wayans pop up on the screen, go message. You look pretty. You look whatever non-binary word make you feel. Message. They really should have did that. It would have made the show a lot more funny. Y'all, why in the hell was Miranda yelling? We're not. What are we doing? Take control of yourself, child. It was so freaking over the top. I should have said that. That was mean. And so gay people don't date. Non-binary people don't date. Am I being ignorant? Because I am so motherfucking confused. But this is why I said, does Miranda even know what Shay Diaz meant when they said they didn't want anything traditional? My nigga. Come on now. How do you end your whole motherfucking marriage and don't even know where you stand with the person you ended the marriage for? You don't even know what type of relationship the person wants that you ending your marriage for. My nigga, how you screw around with somebody for 3 weeks straight and don't even know that you're not their girlfriend? Like, baby, how old is you, Miranda? How do you assume that you are someone's girlfriend who has never referred to you as their girlfriend? Oh, wait a minute now, y'all. Remember the logic from the previous episode. Miranda assumed she was Shay's girlfriend because Shay never said she wasn't their girlfriend. That's what Miranda should have said. Well, the same way you assumed I was in open marriage because I never said I wasn't in open marriage, you should have said, oh, I assumed I was your girlfriend because you never said I wasn't your girlfriend. But y'all, my favorite part of all of this was when Shay hit Miranda with the "we just getting to know each other." Oh, really? My nigga, hold on now. So you mean to tell me you done ended your entire marriage over somebody you just getting to know? Okay, baby. In what universe does this make any sense at all? Child, I cannot. Grown ass motherfucking woman. Really? So Shay says, to answer your indirect question, you're the only one I'm sleeping with right now. Excuse me, not say what? Did Miranda peep that? Child, Shay said right now. You the only person I'm sleeping with right now. Okay. But I could tell y'all this. All y'all that's like waiting and hoping for Miranda to get her comeuppance, y'all waiting for justice for Steve, it will not happen. Shay and Miranda gonna ride off into the motherfucking non-binary sunset, child. Nah, child. Y'all, did Seema say it's hard to be white these days? Now, see, I started off liking Seema, but she done been doing some things, child. She done been doing some things. But hey, what do I know? I'm not white. Maybe it is quite the plight. And we get the scene where Seema tells Miranda, I'm going to be the brown lady who just writes a check. And Miranda just smiled this giant, okay. That got on my nerve. I'm so confused, y'all. What am I missing? And why is Miranda... Why she cheesing so goddamn much in this series? Miranda never smiled this much in 6 seasons of Sex in the City. But every scene I can't. Why the hell is she grinning like a clown with a painted on smile? I am so sick of seeing Miranda. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. I probably look so crazy. I know I look crazy doing that. I'm gonna stop doing that. God forgive me. This is terrible. So Steve and Brady show up to volunteer and paint the women's shelter. And child, why the hell is a women's shelter next to the hottest club in town? Now, I'm not no realtor. I don't location scout for properties. But I would think this is not the best idea. And why did Miranda force everybody except Shay to show up and paint? Did Shay get to write a check? Yo, did anybody speak to Brady about the divorce? How does Brady feel about his parents getting divorced? How does Brady feel about the fact that his mama cheated? I know he could tell that his dad is sad and miserable and don't want the divorce. So how does Brady feel about that? Like, how does Brady feel about his mama now? So let me get this straight. The writers shoved Brady in our face with his sex life and his girlfriend. But now that an actual real event has happened that will affect him. What was I saying? I'm sorry. Something has happened. Something has transpired that actually affects him. We get nothing. But at least we ain't have to be tortured with Brady's girlfriend. She's mentioned, but she ain't in the episode. And am I tripping, or did Carrie greet Brady way more warmly than his own mama did? Carrie gave Brady a hug. Y'all, did Miranda give Brady a hug? Okay, so Charlotte pulls up in a dang limo, child. Nah, look, if my child want to be non-binary or gay or whatever, I really don't care. Like, for real, I don't care. However, and this might be controversial, I'm not calling you or introduce you to people by no ugly ass name like Rob. I'm not doing it. I'm not calling you the name. I'm not doing it. I don't care. You better, child, you gonna go by what I named you? Which if I had kids, I would give them non-gender names. But child, I am not calling you rock, pebble, stepping stone, nothing in between. Marble, I'm not calling you none of that. It's stupid. Nah, they got my nerves with Steve. First of all, Steve was always a sweet guy, right? But Steve wasn't no punk. Even when they first met at that bar, and he was correcting Miranda and stuff and telling her she needed to say thank you, Steve had a backbone. Steve would be honest and he would say what he wanted to say to Miranda. But now, he's just a sad and pitiful little puppy. He just let himself get steamrolled. Steve asked Carrie, how long she knew about Miranda and Shay. Was she the one who introduced them? Normal questions that anyone who gets blindsided by their wife wanting a divorce would ask. But y'all, okay, I'm confused by something. How does Steve know to refer to Shay as they and not she? Because on one hand, it seems like he don't know anything about Shay. But on the other hand, he knows what pronouns Shay prefers. I was confused by that. Like, what information do he have? And I am not buying that he knows because Shay is such a big time comedian. Nope. Hell no, hell no, hell no. I'm not buying that. No way, no way. I don't care. How come Steve don't know how long Shay and Miranda have been involved, but he knows not to refer to Shay as she? I'm not understanding that. But Steve looks so sad and pathetic. I feel bad for Steve. But y'all, he reaching out to the wrong one. Because if look, Carrie really don't give a ish. She don't. I remember an episode of Seinfeld when Elaine is telling a story and Jerry is like, is this about me? And she say no. And Jerry is like, well, I lost interest. That's Carrie. That is Carrie. If the ish ain't about her, she not interested. She not. Nah, I'm not even going to speak on the high heels, the shoes that Carrie wore to go paint because, child, that's just Carrie. That's very Carrie. It's on brand. But why in the heck would you wear a ring that is 5 times too big and expect it not to fall off your mother freaking finger? And expect it not to fall off your finger as you run your hands underwater? Since when is a Band-Aid super glue, child? Wouldn't it have been much more logical to put Big's ring on a necklace? But yo, the shelter got running water already. Who paying the water bill? So, of course, things move from Steve's devastation to Carrie dropping Big's ring down the drain. Because, of course, Steve gets some tools and gets the ring out of the pipe for Carrie. As he stands there with his questions still just unanswered. Because who gives a fuck about Steve? Nobody. Nobody on this show does. Steve tells Carrie that he has never taken off his wedding ring. He does not care what Miranda does. For him, it is till death does them part. Writers, hello? Do y'all want us to hate Miranda? Because if so, good job. Yo, how come Steve Heron was so perfect this episode? Did anybody notice that? That was tripping me out. That's literally the first thing I noticed in his scene with Carrie. Carrie was literally mumbling and Steve could hear her loud and clear. This show just cannot stay consistent with anything. Not even Steve's hearing, child. But this whole scene was pretty much just Steve being vulnerable and Carrie just being a brick wall. Child, I do not care about Naya and her husband. I don't. They get into it about having kids. He wants to try again, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. She don't. Who cares? Child, I didn't care about this in the slightest. I mean, what can I say? I'd rather see Charlotte talking to her brat child about tampons. I'd rather see Harry peeing on the toilet, child. Naya, look, girl. I'm glad you black, child. I'm glad you get to be Miranda's black friend, I guess. And, yeah, I really have nothing to say about this. Who gives a ish? Their storyline is so boring and monotonous. They basically keep having the same motherfucking conversation over and over again. Every time we see them on the motherfucking screen, it's the same. They talking about the same thing, child. They'll probably end up separating. I don't know, child. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't know what to say about them two. So, Shay calls Miranda while they painting the shelter on the lunch break or whatever. And Miranda does not answer because she feels like she's being too available and she want to pull back. And, child, Carrie, who gives a what Carrie got to say? Carrie say, oh, you doing the girlfriend rules now? Carrie, what the fuck you even talking? Do you even know what you're talking about? Carrie, shut the fuck up. But I don't like Like, I don't feel like that's girlfriend programming. Isn't that just people in general? I mean, if you like somebody, then you gonna want to be around them a lot. Especially at the beginning, you know, what my mama called the honeymoon phase at the beginning of a relationship. You gonna make yourself available so you could be around them. And I think it's pretty normal to be anxious and excited waiting to hear from them. But y'all, what does program to be a girlfriend even mean? Especially when Miranda was never a traditional girlfriend. So, like, this ain't even make no sense. Like, are these writers familiar with character evolution at all? Because how is it that Miranda, Carrie, and Charlotte is the most on brand out of everybody though, but how is it that they are all regressed? Where is the character growth? Where is the evolution of these characters? Why have they completely disregarded the background of the characters and the foundation of these characters? Everything that made them Carrie, Miranda, and Charlotte. Miranda, more so for me, is just such a letdown, and just her behavior in this reboot feels so juvenile and erratic. Like, I don't even know what else to call it. Look, life changes, circumstances change, people change and evolve. But the character of Miranda Hobbs does not feel like evolution. It does not feel like a natural progression of change. It feels like the writers have completely disregarded Miranda's history and foundation that created Miranda's motivation for her behavior and her choices and her logic and how she did things, how she moved, how she approached life and relationships. I don't give a damn about Miranda drinking. They should have had an intervention about how she done lost her damn mind, child. Entire mind. Miranda, y'all, I can't. So, at the end of the episode, Carrie finally takes off her ring and puts it away, motivated by what Steve said, I think. Then she texts the teacher about going out again. Child, he need to move on. I'll leave you on red because I am not wasting my time showing up to another date just for you to bail. Oh, and Carrie and Seema get to skip the line at the club because that's so important. Child, how do y'all think the finale episode gonna go? Are y'all watching season 2, child? Are y'all watching season 2? Are y'all gonna make me suffer through season 2? Because there will be a season 2. I know it is. They get like a million episode. Thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you watched until the end. This has got to be the worst show in existence. And I done watched a lot of TV in my life. But it caused a lot of y'all to discover my channel. So I guess, and just like that, will have a special place in my heart. But I can't ever forget them for putting Shay Diaz in my motherfucking life. Like, I can't with that character. Guys, if you like my content, please make sure you support my channel. Like this video, comment down below, share this video, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification so you will be alerted when I post TV show reviews, movie reviews. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.